Rachel?
Here.
Katie? Here. Sarah? Here. Jeff Gorno?
Here.
James?
Here.
Carrie? Here. Jeff Weaver?
Here. If everyone will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing for a moment of silence for armed services personnel. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Are there any items to be added or changed to the agenda?
There is not.
Move on to correspondence and commendations. We have a thank you card to the board from Becky Brand. Thank you email from the Gaylord High School Physical Education 2 class to Mark Copeland for providing fishing pros to educate their class. And then we'll move on to recognitions and acknowledgement. Personnel, we have new hires. Educational assistants Kayla Newman, Transportation Secretary Don Clays, resignation educational assistants Mariah Christove and Cassandra Stinson, retirements Bus driver Brenda Mayer, tenure South Maple Elementary teacher Carly Burke, and then we're gonna hear from Mr. Wilson on the boys basketball and Luke Gilo, and MSBO Business Office Specialist Certification, Andrea Bogath, MIAAA Dedication Service Award to Christian Wilson. Those will all be handled by Mr. Craycraft, and then Noel Vogan from the Girl Scout Gold Award.
Okay.
So do we have it, our educational assistants? Nope, none of those. Anybody else? Mr. Craycraft, and you have the floor.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Wilson, and he can recognize Zach and Luke.
Zach Napon could not be here tonight, the head coach, so I have got this honor. If you can come on up here, Ms. Luke, with me. I'm not sure if everyone knew this, but there was a eclipse today. I'm not sure if you heard. I'm not sure when the last one was or the next one is, but Luke Gilo here is similar to the eclipse. You never know if we're going to have a performance like we had, Luke, in the last 20, 30 years. I'm an old guy, I've been here 22 years. Both of Luke's parents were a teacher or students of mine, and I haven't seen a performance like this year that we had on the basketball floor like Luke had. He averaged 30 points a game, which is a school record. He scored 722 points this season, again, a school record. He had 83 threes, one more time, a school record. And for his career, he had 163 threes, which is again a school record. 4 school records this past year. He ended up the season or his career with 1,485 points, which is the second most all time. And we've been playing basketball in Gaylord for many, many years, and it's the second most that they have scored. I've been watching basketball. We've had obviously our own teams, many of our tournament games at our gymnasium. The performance against Petoskey, where he had 38 points and single-handedly almost brought us to victory, was, I thought, the best performance I've ever seen in our gym. Boys, girls, Gaylord, any other school. It was unbelievable. He worked extremely hard. Him and his uncle Matt have been in the gym countless hours to get to this performance. A lot of it is God-given, but much, much more of it is the hard work that he put into it. We're very proud of what he's achieved this year. We're very proud that he made the decision last week to attend Oakland University. You might have heard of them. They beat Kentucky. So it's not like he's just going to some podunk school down the street. So we're very proud of him, and we're very honored, and we'd like to have him be recognized from the school board today. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, Mr. Wilson, if you would stand up. We also have some recognition for Mr. Wilson. We received word from MIAA for 20 years of dedicated service as an athletic director, which is quite a record in the state of Michigan. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with MIAA schools, some of us attended MIAA schools. Schools like Alma, Albion, do I say Albion again? Adrian, Hope, and whatnot. So they recognize dedicated athletic directors, and Mr. Wilson has received that award. So I just wanted to congratulate you. And
Just means I'm getting old.
so, I would also like to recognize that Ms. Andrea Bogoth is our Business Office Specialist certification from the Michigan School Business Officials. Joe, is there anything that you would add in that recognition?
I'd just like to recognize the business office staff for their efforts in bettering themselves for the benefit of the Gaylord Community Schools. They do a good job of constantly trying to improve themselves in the positions they're in, so thank you.
Awesome, thank you. So we also have some recognition that Mr. Hodges, as you may have heard, is leaving us at the end of this month. He's accepted the superintendent's position in a little town near Bath, or excuse me, near Lansing called Bath, let me say it. And there's other little towns near Bath. I just want to congratulate him and thank him for his many years of dedicated service, not only as a outstanding choir teacher, but also for the last 9 years as the principal of Gaylord High School. Through the pandemic, your leadership has been strong and appreciated, and I would like you to come up, and if there's anything you would like to say, Mr. Hodges.
Thank you, Mr. Craycraft. I'd like to start by thanking the board. This board, the Board of Gaylord Community Schools, hired me twice. First as a teacher who didn't know what I didn't even know, and then again as a high school principal. I would really, truly like to thank the board. You may not have known this. Growing up just down the road in Roscommon, Gaylord was the place that we always came. If we went to the movies, we went to Gaylord. We were going to go skiing, we went to Gaylord. Want to just aimlessly wander around Walmart, we went to Gaylord. That's what we did, and there was nothing to do in Roscommon. And going through college, once I decided that education was the path that I wanted to follow, a lot of times sitting around with friends or calling up my parents, well, okay, so you want to do this, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? And I always told myself I'd like to be in a place like Gaylord. And then my junior year of college, the vocal music position, the teacher retired. I wasn't graduated yet. You filled that position, and I thought, oh, they're going to be there forever. Thankfully, I was wrong. And 2 short years later, I was able to return to Northern Michigan. I went to South Carolina for 1 year and taught vocal music down there for a year. This board gave me the opportunity to return home, and for that, I'm forever grateful to this district. I'm incredibly grateful not only to the 7 of you, but also to Mr. Craycraft, Mr. Pearson, and Mrs. Voitas. I've had the pleasure of learning from them, from their leadership over these 9 years, and I know that I'll take those lessons with me as I transition to Bath. So one last time, I'd like to thank the board, I'd like to thank the superintendents, and of course, all the staff and students at Gaylord High School. I will miss them greatly. Thank you.
Congratulations. That's awesome. We also have a very special treat tonight because I think this is the first one here, not the first Girl Scout Gold Award that I've ever recognized. It's a difficult award to achieve. It is very similar to, it would be an Eagle Scout Award for Boy Scouts, but for the Girl Scouts they give the Gold Award, which is a lot of service and dedication to the community. And with us tonight is Noelle Vogan, and she's going to tell us all about her Gold Award project. So we're very proud of her.
So I've completed my Gold Award, which is the highest award that a Girl Scout can actually earn. We earn our Bronze and Silver Awards, like on my vest right here, before we can earn the Gold Award. I'm Noelle, and I am here to show you my new Girl Scout Gold Award program, Bringing Music to Life. This program is an amazing program. since I love music and I always have since I was a little girl, I played piano and now I'm in percussion and I play guitar. I thought, what if I decided to make a music program for little kids to help them learn about music? So that's what I did. We have monthly workshops, which are super fun, and we make different kinds of crafts, which are basically homemade musical instruments. And we get to learn about them and do really fun things there. And it's just fun. And there's like a website that you can do, and there's like a whole brochure of fun things. And it's just a really good experience for a Girl Scout, for going gold.
Congratulations, Noel.
I'm getting you got another layer of it.
All right. Oh, if there's anyone in the crowd, Noel, if you got things you want to do, we'll take just a couple minutes. You are welcome to leave. Luke, if you got other things, or you're welcome to stay.
I know. It's bringing.
We'll high five y'all later.
All right, we'll move on to public input, and the first one is Steph Jacobson.
Hi, thanks. I'm Stephanie Jacobson from Gaylord here, and I'm here tonight to talk to you a little bit about the curriculum adoption. I want to remind you that 3 years ago, I probably was standing before a lot of you on this very board arguing against the experts that told us masking children from 8 to 3 and following directional arrows in the grocery stores probably wasn't going to, defeat COVID, especially since children were at lowest risk. It made no sense to have them masked when all of us at higher risk were not throughout the day. So forgive me if I don't put a lot of stock in experts. Over the years, the expert organization in public education has grown and grown and grown, and the money we've spent consulting and paying experts has grown and grown and grown, and yet our reading and math and science and history scores decline. So for 200 plus years, we educated children and taught them to read with a primer and a Bible, and we had some of the highest literacy rates in the world. So I don't think necessarily changing curriculums all the time will lead to better performance. I was around in 2013 when the state of Michigan adopted the Common Core, and I'm very sad to say that a lot of the frustrations that Dennis mentioned in the workshop were things we were arguing back then. Focus on informational text, lack of classical literature, lack of diversity in curriculum because they had to align to the tests now, which is one of the stated objectives of Bill Gates, was once the curriculums align to once the tests align to the standards, the curriculums will as well. And I think our reading scores have ever declined since that. I looked briefly at bookworms. There was somewhere you could put an email in, and I do want to say that my initial reaction to it was that it's based on sight word reading and not comprehensive phonics. It looks kind of boring to me. It pushes early writing and complex subjects that require critical thinking beyond the skills that small children don't have yet, i.e. there was a whole thing about Martin Luther King and race relations. And just to tell a story, I had a teacher friend look at it as well, and she said, literally in my kindergarten classroom a couple days ago, 2 little kids, a black little girl and boy, I don't remember, and a white little girl and boy, I don't remember, said, look, Mrs. R, we're literally like twins, we look exactly alike. So it's pushing kids to understand things that they might not be ready for. We also know that I just don't see a lot of the great stories that have captivated children for generations. That one I had concerns about, but it's nothing compared to magnetic reading. What 4th graders want to read about Title X? What's the point of analyzing rap songs, probably most of which, whose language and themes you'd never let me even utter in a board meeting? I urge you to vote no on these curriculums.
Thank you. Susan Lubert, you have the floor.
Thank you. My name is Susan Lubert, and I want to say that I know a lot of people get misconceptions for us why we're speaking about issues that are concerning us. I know the DOJ calls us terrorists. We are not. We are here because we care about children. And we want to make sure that our children are getting the education they are supposed to be getting and not being indoctrinated by some people's values. Like for instance, the 1619 Project, which is a journalist rewriting the American history. We want to make sure our kids are taught according to what the real history is and what they are reading materials. Sure, they have the curriculum before you is for them to improve their skills. My question is, what are they reading? Are they reading that white supremacy, that there's going to be racial divide? Are they saying that we are a slave nation? Are they saying what according to the 1619 Project and critical race theory? No, we don't need that. We need them to learn basic like run, spot, run, see, spot, run. Simple messages like that they need to be reading. That's why I vote for you. Because remember, we are the bosses. We elected you for these positions. You are accountable to us. So I'm urging that you, as your boss, saying, do not vote for this curriculum. And what happened to your facilitator on your evaluation said, when you, anytime you come to a board meeting and you vote for something, for you to let the public know, a short, brief discussion on what that is that you are voting on. Because not all of us go to the workshop. So I'd like to know what happened to that, why you just sit there and vote for this and that, and we in the audience have no idea what you guys are passing. And we want to know what is in these books and what you are teaching our children. Because these are our future, and we're standing up for them. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Sheila Simpson?
There's always going to be diversity of opinion, and diversity of opinion is important, however, it does not drive wise decision making. Research, reading, reviewing, data mining, really looking at what's working, what isn't working, is what this committee set up to do for the curriculum committee under the leadership of Mr. Keck. They had diverse thinking, I'm sure, of what was good and what was going to be helpful for our children, and yet they came unanimously to agree to these products for our children. I'm sure there will be some questions about can we tweak this or tweak that, but it's important to know that 2 years were spent investigating what will help our children after 12 years of the same curriculum. And I heard comments at the workshop that this sounds boring, this lesson sounds like it isn't fun. Teaching and learning is the teacher's responsibility to make it fun, make it engaging, make it not entertaining, but encouraging to think better and what about, you know? So to look at what appears to be a dry curriculum in some instances is not honoring the teacher's experience in their education to make things really a learning experience. So I hope you will vote yes and honor the 2 years that this committee worked on to bring a new curriculum.
Thank you. Stacy Brown?
Hi everyone. I want to start by saying I think it's great that we all have opinions and we now can share them and have people listen. I come to a lot of meetings, I come to a lot of workshops. I truly sit here and I think to myself, would I ask this question, would this be a concern of mine, given whatever topic is happening? I think it's great to question, I think we have to question. I think we also need to research and we need to look at data and we need to put some trust in people in this district who teach every day, who want what's best for kids every day, and who have background in lots of different subject areas. They spend a lot of time. I know they spent extra effort and time, you know, around their school day to look at curriculums. We're not all gonna be perfect. We're not all gonna agree, but that's the beauty of that. And their time needs to be recognized and what they've looked at as far as what's out there and what's best for our kids. I mean, I have to put that trust in them. That's a big group of people who's in the trenches every day, like I used to be. So obviously I would, encourage a yes vote to pass curriculum tonight. I think as a public and as a group, we also need to think about voting in the future, and where we want things to go in Gaylord schools, what kind of voice we want. I don't know if the people are aware, but, we have a board member involved in a lawsuit against our school system. And I hear a lot, we wanna do what's best for kids, but there's a lot of things that don't end up being best for kids sometimes when we put our opinions in there, so that's all for today.
Thank you.
Are we not allowing personal attack?
Can't.
Okay, got it. Public comment.
We'll move on to the consent agenda. It is recommended that the board approve the consent agenda as presented. Board minutes, April 4th, 2024, special board meeting minutes, workshop minutes. Treasurer's report, general fund and athletic fund bills in the amount of $3.6 million. Cafeteria fund bills in the amount of $115,000. Sinking fund bills in the amount of $35,000, and prior period adjustments in the amount of $0. That is the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I second it. Any questions on the consent agenda?
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jeff Gorno?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes. New and unfinished business, bid packet number 1 contract. It is recommended that the board approve the contract in the amount of $694,937 with Sugar Construction in Gaylord Community Schools as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the bid packet with Sugar Construction.
I'll second it.
Any questions on the bid packet number 1?
Just explaining, so this is the bid package regarding the projects that we're gonna be doing at the schools.
This summer,
This
correct.
summer, correct,
Correct.
yeah,
Any other questions?
Just,
Okay.
again with her, this is a new roof on the music end, right? And the
Yeah.
music wing, and so in the spirit
Joe,
of
can you
being
just-
open to everybody, so they know what we're spending $634,000 on. It's
Building
new
projects.
roofs and building projects and
Paint companies
flooring
coming
and
back in.
drywall, painting, fire protection, there's all sorts of stuff
Locker
on this
room,
list.
girls'
Locker
locker
room redo for the girls, so, yeah.
Okay.
Rachel?
yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jeff Gorno?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes. Band uniforms RFP, it is recommended that the board approve the bid for the band uniforms from Stanberry Uniforms in the amount of $65,715.
I'll make a motion to approve the band uniforms RFP.
I'll second it.
Any questions?
Just to clarify, the $65,000, we're splitting that with the band,
With the
right?
boosters.
Okay, with the boosters, okay.
Yep, with the boosters.
Yep.
Yep, they've raised half of that, and then we're meeting them halfway.
Thank you, boosters.
Yeah.
Anything else?
And it's been what, like almost 20 years since they've had it.
It's been a while. They're
about
So they're
20 years.
definitely
They're in
deserving.
need of new uniforms.
Well, we're very appreciative of Mr. Hotelling's advocacy and the booster support to get moving in a good direction with these, so.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have one with you?
Yes,
Oh,
that's what you have
wonder
in
that.
his
Oh, can we finish?
Nice. I was trying to say, can you hold that?
Like the hat.
Yeah.
So we're going a little different style, nice and simple. It'll be easy for the kids to keep organized and clean.
Wonderful, thanks for
Very
If
good.
they live at school, they're not gonna be trusted to go to their house.
Nice.
Thanks for bringing it here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jeff Gorno?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes. K-5 curriculum adoption. It is recommended that the board approve the K-5 curriculum adoption as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the K-5 curriculum adoption as presented. Second it.
Any questions on the K-5 curriculum adoption?
Yes. Why are I'm just asking the question, we would be signing 2 new contracts, 2 separate companies, 2 separate pricing, and I know that there's grant money, but shouldn't we break this out? Shouldn't we be voting on one and then the other, just so that these are 2 separate companies, 2 separate contracts?
But it's all under the same, it's our curriculum. I think if we looked at the bid packet, we just approved all of that, and we're signing a bunch of different contracts from different entities to do to the complete project.
So do you object to just breaking it out? I mean, can we just break it out? They're 2 separate contracts, so why, is there resistance to doing that? I'm not trying to be, put you on the spot, but why can't we just break it out? Because they're 2 separate K-3, 4 and 5 wanted a different one, so why aren't we looking at them as 2 separate?
They brought us the whole packet. This is what the committee liked. We can break it out, but first we have to take care of this motion right now.
Well, the motion's gonna pass, because you guys have the votes, so and that's okay. So, the bookworms, I'm happy about. I think it's great. It has a lot of great literature in it, a lot of diverse literature, and I think, I'm very hopeful that it's gonna have the desired effect, helping our kids. And the magnetic reading, as we've discussed in the workshop, I'm not as excited about, and just to back up, I support our teachers. I support all of the work that was put into this. I think this is a flawed process. It's coming to us at the tail end. The curriculum has to be approved by the school board, so we are a stakeholder in this process, and yet we are not involved in the process at all until the very end. And then there's this coercive feeling that if you don't support it, that you're somehow injecting your own opinion, you're anti-teacher, you're fiscally irresponsible. And I don't think that's fair. I think that the process should have, it would have been a better process had we been involved earlier and just shown the curriculum as it was going along. This is what they're looking at, this is what they're thinking. Are you on board with this? And then, if we give the green light, I would not backtrack on it. We've given them the green light. I could see, we've been involved, they're putting in the work. But coming at the very end and then just asking us to rubber stamp it, which is what it feels like to me. It feels like we're just, we are somehow anti-teacher if we don't support it, and that is absolutely not true. I support the teachers. I know that they're gonna do the best they can with any curriculum, and they're doing the best they can right now. But this magnetic reading curriculum, as we discussed in the workshop, is designed around culturally and linguistic responsive pedagogy. That's the whole structure of the curriculum for 4 and 5. And I think the public should know, what is that? What is culturally and linguistically responsive pedagogy? That's what the curriculum is based on. That's the whole purpose. It's all based on this theory. So what does that mean?
Are you asking me to?
Yeah, I'm asking you, yeah.
I wouldn't feel comfortable defining that right now, because that's not something that we looked at, again, in the process. That's not something that we quantified or could quantify. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure how I can answer that. And
this is the whole approach to it. I got the sampler. This is the central theme. I looked up, because I do my own research, and I did look up about, from the company, Magnetic Reading, and they designed it around this culturally and linguistically responsive pedagogy. And this whole curriculum for 4th and 5th grade, you've been studying this for 2 years and you guys can't explain what it is? Because I've been looking at it and I truly am confused. Other than all of the material is based on culturally relevant articles and things like that. No, 4th grade, there's no books. It's all what someone has determined as culturally relevant material, which is a lot of doom and gloom. And, you know, when we talk about education and the ELA curriculum, I heard a lot about the rubric and making sure it aligns with the state Common Core, making sure that it conforms with the science of reading, has adequate support and training. But I do not hear a lot about the actual curriculum, which is the central piece of it. I mean, that's the core of it, the actual curriculum. What are we trying to impart through the curriculum to these kids, to the parents, to help them be successful in ELA? And I haven't heard any conversations around that. And I don't see that. From when I look at the material, I see a lot of what is divisive, opinion-oriented. It's not unifying, and it's heavy stuff that we're putting on 4 and 5 or 9, 10, 11-year-olds, 4th and 5th grade. And there is an ideology, around this, the creator of this pedagogy, and it's important that parents know that, because it's in there. I could see it. I took the time to look through both the books, the teacher's instructional book. It is definitely in there. There's a lot of opinion, and what is determined as culturally relevant is based on this one individual's protocol. And it's concerning to me, because I don't think at the core of it it's to help kids in ELA. And he even says that his goal is to sway, he says his vision, the #1 objective is to sway school communities, professional communities, and the general public to become culturally responsive. That's the vision. It's not about the curriculum. It's not about kids learning to set themselves up for success. There's no literature in 4th grade, none, 0. I don't understand how, I mean, I know I'm in the minority. I just don't understand how you all can think that this is gonna be good for them. I know that we also talked about the fidelity piece of it. That's also confusing, because on one hand, you said that the success of it will depend upon teaching the curriculum and making sure that the teachers are teaching the curriculum. But then, in that same meeting, we were also told that the teachers will have the discretion to decide what they do and don't teach. That's two conflicting statements. So, what I would like to see in a curriculum, some things that inspire kids to develop their sense of curiosity and wonder about the world, develop a love of learning, critical thinking skills, to teach virtuous things like goodness of humanity, patriotism, unity, stories about how hard work, determination, perseverance, and mental toughness can set them up for achievement, and fun things. And there's very little of that in here. And one of the things that I did mention specific chapters or instructional pieces in the 4th and 5th curriculum in our workshop, but one of the other things that one of them that I didn't mention was focus on finding myself. And I can't recall if this was from 4th or 5th grade, but the topic is finding myself. And I just don't think that's appropriate. The text, to build knowledge, the teacher is supposed to talk to them, to lesson text, build knowledge about pursuing a dream different from what one's parents expect. That we're delving into territory we should not go. This is not a class on, self-discovery or a psychology class, excuse me. These are impressionable kids that they are planting the seed of, putting that wedge there with the parent. And I just think this is not okay, it's not appropriate. And this tracks with the rest of the curriculum. One of the other stories is about on the renewable resources, and it's about solar panels And it's a story about an Asian girl in China that doesn't like how solar panels look. And so she goes and talks to the Chinese government, and they rearrange them to look like pandas. And that's the story. And that's a joke. Like, that's like propaganda. I mean, China's one of the biggest polluters in the world, but it's, I mean, this is not good. That's my feeling. I know I'm in the minority, and because we're voting on them together and you don't wanna break them apart, you know, I would definitely support bookworms, but I don't support magnetic reading. But to reiterate, I absolutely support the teachers, and I support all the hard work they put in. I think the process was flawed from the beginning. We should have been involved before now, and the idea that we can't, you know, at this point we're just supposed to go ahead and vote for it because it's been all this time, I think is wrong. And the last thing I would say is that we as a school board are not an extension of the school administration. We are supposed to be representing the parents in the community, and the parents are the educators. The school is there to assist the parents in their children's education. Parents are the educators, the ultimate educators, and we should be talking to them. And did anybody ask them? Did anybody ask the parents whether they wanted culturally and linguistically responsive pedagogy taught as the core of the 4th and 5th grade ELA curriculum? That nobody can explain.
Thank you.
I too had expressed my lack of support for the 4th and 5th grade curriculum. And it's in an email in the 11th hour, of course, sorry, but as I was preparing for the meeting, just asked if it was even prudent to put it under one motion, because it was 2 separate contracts, 2 separate curriculums. I do support the teachers. I do realize that they spent 2 years developing their choice. I wish I would have had more time to actually look at the curriculums, other than the one committee meeting where I gave the approval to move forward in the workshop for discussion, uninformed that it would be as a vote today, and we had 20 minutes, and I specifically stated I would not approve if we're approving this for a vote, 4th and 5th grade, because I had never looked at it. And then I took it home and looked at it, and it's not just the material that's in the curriculum, it's there's no literature, there's no books, they're complete excerpts from the people who originated the curriculum, paragraphs from some books, so just the excerpts that they want you to look at, and every paragraph is numbered. So when they reference an idea or what they want, what is Katie expressing in paragraph 9, the child doesn't even have to read the excerpt, they just go to paragraph 9 and look at what Katie's doing. There's no development of visual skills, there's no development of reading. It's just a very dumbed down, for a better word, to try and raise our reading scores. And I just don't think it's appropriate. I don't think the content is relevant for teachers or for the community. And I don't think that it does our students a service the way that they are gonna be taught to learn. Because we had said, like, even in the workshop at the M-STEP, paragraphs aren't numbered. The kids have to actually read the excerpt, figure it out, and take a test. And when you said that it came out of the committee recommended the way it did, what we are approving tonight is not what the committee had approved to come out. We were told it was a 1-year contract for bookworms, a 3-year contract for magnetic reading, and today we're approving a 5-year contract for each, which was never brought to the committee. And it was never delineated whether it was gonna be 1 or 2 motions or anything. 2 different curriculums, fine, but those are my hesitations.
So one last thing, we have been asking for months now whether the school board would have ample time to review the curriculum. We've been asking that for many months. This has come up several times, whether we would have a chance to review the ELA curriculum. And the process that Carrie said in her email was that at your curriculum committee meeting, you got 20 minutes to look it over and then you were asked to approve it.
Correct.
That's not ample time.
Okay, anybody else?
I'm uncomfortable with the fact that we in the committee said, yep, we'll go with the 3 years and the 1 year, or we can talk about that in the workshop. Let's move forward with that, and then it showed up on Thursday at 5 years. And I know I've had conversations with several of you about it today, but.
And those conversations, why was that, was that explained to you, why we did that?
It was explained to me, we did it that way because we're leaving money on the table if we don't, because there's more grant money.
Right.
I personally am comfortable with the 3 years because that's what we had agreed with, and I think 3 years, we're gonna be able to know, yes, this is working or this is not, and we're going to be able to we're not gonna waste those 2 years if it's not working. There will be more grant money in 3 years, most likely. This one popped up out of nowhere. If we need more grant money in 3 years to get another 2 years, it'll be there'll be something available.
But you did say if we approve the 5 year, we can pull out at any time.
That's not what the writing that in that email said that you sent us
Only for the
today.
first 90 days without
We have 90
penalty.
days, 90 days to back out, or we lose all the money. So if in 2 years from now, we're like, our numbers are tanking, this is not working, we lost all that money anyhow. It's grant money, and it's grant money from the state, which makes it taxpayer money, which means we're just saying we're taking all the free money from the state, but yet we're not being responsible. I'm uncomfortable with the 5 years. I would be very comfortable with the 3 years. Am I excited about magnetic reading? No, but I know the teachers are. I know they said it's the best one that they were offered. So I am behind the teachers for 3 years. I'm uncomfortable with 5 years, so.
And when we say it's fiscally irresponsible to not use the money, it's also taxpayers' money, and it's fiscally irresponsible if we back out and have to pay extra and
to get out,
Or start over.
Yeah, we'd have to pay to start over, so, and we're not gonna be able to, this one took 2 years. If we get to 3 years, and then we decide we're gonna pick a new one, it doesn't work out, we're still gonna go into 4 and 5 years anyways, because if we took 2 years to pick a bad curriculum, we can't just quit in 3 years and pick a new one up tomorrow. So we're gonna eat into that time.
the committee was told that there weren't even other options available. It was a 1 year and a 3 year, and then Thursday it shows up 5 year.
We had some information, and that's been explained to the board over the break, that the initial outlay for this grant, they had increased it, and giving us the opportunity to not, because the original amount of money was, we would have had to go into general fund. This increased it enough that we could extend it out longer, and it's a better deal, you know, for supports and materials, the longer you go out. And that's what was explained to the board at the workshop. We did not know that at our committee meeting. Committees don't recommend, committees, you know, agree, and there was agreement. But I just wanted to clarify that the going out 5 years was something that this, you know, offering more money. We already agreed that we wanted this curriculum, but again, we wanted to stay within the grant boundaries, and when they expanded it, really adoptions are every 7 to 10 years. To turn around an adoption after 1 or 2 years is pretty difficult. You've got to assess it and make sure that it's doing what you hope that it would do, and then evaluate. And we're all about that. We want to. I know it's important in terms of our strategic planning goal for this board that we raise our reading scores, and the belief from our teachers is that this is the curriculum that they can get behind and support the decision and own the recommendation.
And I just wanna state one more time that it was good enough the first time for 1 year and 3 year, and there was no mention of needing 5 years to develop it, to do the data at the committee meeting, so.
Typically what we would
It's more
do is
about using the free dollars.
Well, we would expand, actually, if you bought 3 years, we would end up having to go in the general fund to pay that out, I mean, as you renew it. But I get your point.
Okay, anything else? Okay,
If we were that excited about this curriculum, I would think that we wanted 5 years. Why did we not come to the committee meeting and say, we got this much in grant and we have the money set aside because we've had the money, we've been anticipating this curriculum. This is how much it's gonna cost us for 3, but hey, let's do 5 because we know this curriculum is gonna be great.
We kinda did that at the workshop.
No, but you didn't do that at the committee, like you.
No, we didn't have
we
the
would've
information
had
at the committee meeting.
You could have done a 5-year at the committee meeting and we pay for 2 years
Oh, I
and the
got you.
grant pays for 3 and hey, let's go with it, cause we're so excited about it, but we didn't do that. So it makes me wonder how excited we really are about this.
No, you can certainly spend it that way, but that wasn't the intent.
Cindy?
Rachel?
No.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jeff Corno?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Carrie?
No.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes. All right, motion carries. Gaylord High School send-off grant. It is recommended the board approve the Otsego Community Foundation grant for the Gaylord High School send-off class of 2024 as presented.
I'll make a motion for this Gaylord High School senior send-off grant.
I'll second it.
Any questions on that?
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jeff Corno?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes. Motion carries. Gaylord High School Counseling Department grant. It is recommended the board approve the Otsego Community Foundation grant for the Gaylord High School Counseling Department as presented.
I'll motion to approve the Gaylord High School Counseling Department grant.
I'll second it.
Any questions on the counseling grant?
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jeff Corno?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes. Motion carries. Gaylord High School boys soccer grant. It is recommended the board approve the Otsego Community Foundation grant for the Gaylord High School boys soccer as presented.
Make a motion to approve the OCF grant for the soccer team as presented.
I'll second.
Questions?
Just to clarify, so everybody knows, all these grants are from the Nick Missouri Grant Fund, so that's where these grants are coming from.
Okay.
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jeff Corno?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes. Motion carries. Gaylord Middle School weight room grant. It is recommended the board approve the Otsego Community Foundation grant for the Gaylord Middle School weight room as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the Otsego County Community Foundation grant for the weight room.
I'll second it.
Any questions?
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jeff Corno?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Jeff Weaver?
Yes. Motion carries. We have public input. All slips that we had have spoken, so public input is over. And one last
Make a
motion.
motion to adjourn.
Second.
Rachel?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes.
Jeff Corno?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Carrie?